Hey everyone, and welcome back to my little corner of calm. We all have our self care routines, right? Whether it's that morning meditation or a good healthy meal. Well, our beautiful aquarium plants, they need their own kind of TLC too. And today, we're covering a topic that's often overlooked but is absolutely essential for their well being: phosphate deficiency in aquarium plants. So, what is phosphate anyway? Think of it as the ultimate energy booster for your aquatic greens. It's a macronutrient, meaning plants need a substantial amount of it for pretty much everything: robust growth, absorbing other vital nutrients, and performing that amazing trick called photosynthesis. Plus, it's a fundamental building block for their DNA and cell structure. Without enough, your plants just can't function at their best. Now, here's the interesting part, and it's a bit like a balancing act. Too much phosphate, and you're inadvertently inviting the wrong kind of party guests: unsightly algae blooms like green water or those stubborn spot algae. These can actually reduce oxygen in your tank and, in extreme cases, even produce toxins. Not what we want for our peaceful underwater world, but on the flip side, too little phosphate and your plants will show signs of real distress: stunted growth, weak roots, even that sad melting look. Our goal is to find that sweet spot, that Goldilocks zone, where phosphate levels are perfectly balanced for flourishing plants. Okay, so how do you know if your plants are giving you a silent cry for help? It's all about observation. Slow or stunted growth. This is often the first giveaway, especially with fast-growing stem plants. You might notice their shoot tips just aren't getting bigger or growth stops altogether. Distinctive color changes. Keep an eye out for a general darkening or a bluish-green hue. In some species, you'll see a unique purple or violet tint, particularly along new leaf veins. This vibrant color, while pretty, indicates an accumulation of anthocyanin pigment due to stress. In advanced stages, leaves can turn yellow with soft brown patches. Leaf issues. Older leaves are usually hit first. They might develop brown spots, be prone to spot algae, or detach more easily. New leaves could emerge shorter or look distorted. Weak stems. If your plant's stems become thin and fragile, unable to support themselves and flopping over, that's another clear indicator. Now, a crucial piece of advice: many of these symptoms can mimic other deficiencies, making diagnosis a bit tricky. Before you jump to conclusions about nutrients, always, always, always optimize your CO2 levels first. Low carbon dioxide can cause issues like yellowing leaves, stunted growth, and premature leaf drop. If CO2 is the limiting factor, adding more nutrients won't fix the problem. It could actually fuel algae instead, as your plants can't properly utilize the extra food. Also, be aware that phosphate and nitrogen deficiencies can look very similar, so careful observation is key here. So, if your plants are indeed showing the signs, what's often at the root of the problem? Insufficient fertilization. This is pretty straightforward. Many hobbyists simply aren't adding enough phosphate, especially in densely planted tanks with bright lights and CO2 injection. Relying solely on fish waste often isn't enough for a thriving setup. Algae out competition. Believe it or not, algae actively compete with your desired plants for available phosphate. A rise in spot algae can be both a symptom and a cause, as they're hogging the limited supply. Phosphate-absorbing media. Here's a paradox. Sometimes our efforts to control algae backfire. Certain filter media designed to remove excess phosphate can inadvertently strip the water clean, leaving your plants starved. Water source and chemistry. The phosphate levels in your tap water can vary widely. If you're using naturally low phosphate tap water or purified water like RODI without remineralization, you're starting behind. Crucially, water pH plays a huge role. Phosphate is most available to plants when the pH is between 6.0 and 7.0. Outside this range, it can become locked out, present in the water but unusable by your plants. Bioload and feeding. Your fish contribute phosphate through their waste and uneaten food. In lightly stocked tanks, or if fish are underfed, this natural source might not meet plant demand. Conversely, using low-quality fish food can also contribute to an overall system deficiency. Other environmental factors: poor water circulation can prevent phosphate from reaching all plants, creating localized hunger zones. Even cold water can slow down plant metabolism, hindering nutrient uptake. And while decaying organic matter is a phosphate source, if decomposition is too slow or too scarce, release can be insufficient. All right, on to the action plan. Correcting phosphate deficiency requires a systematic approach, and prevention is always better than cure. Test and monitor accurately. This is your starting point. Invest in a reliable liquid phosphate test kit. Fritz and API are good options. Follow instructions precisely. Every drop, every shake, every wait time matters. Target levels generally range from 0.1 to 1.5 milligrams per liter PO4, but high-tech tanks might need 1 to 2 ppm. And a quick tip, rinse test tubes immediately after use, but never use soap. Soap residue is harmful to your fish. Targeted supplementation. Once you confirm the deficiency, it's time to add liquid fertilizers, dedicated phosphate products like Seachem Flourish. Phosphorus offer precise control. All-in-one solutions are great for general needs, but experienced aquarists often prefer separate dosing for ultimate fine-tuning. Root tabs. For heavy root feeders like crypts or sword plants, root tabs deliver phosphate directly into the substrate. Address underlying factors. Remember, it's not just about adding phosphate. Prioritize CO2. Again, make sure your CO2 levels are optimized, 20-30 milligrams per liter. It unlocks your plant's ability to absorb all nutrients. Improve water circulation. Ensure phosphate and other nutrients are distributed evenly throughout the tank. Proactive maintenance for long-term success. Regular water changes and cleaning. 10-20% weekly water changes, along with substrate vacuuming and filter maintenance. Keep your water clean and nutrient levels stable. Balanced fertilization regimes. Don't just dose when you see a problem. Consistent, measured fertilization, potentially following NPK ratios like 6-1-8, prevents nutrient boom and bust cycles that stress plants. Stable levels are as important as optimal ones. Optimize your environment, ensure proper lighting for photosynthesis, and maintain stable water quality parameters. Also, choose plant species that match your tank's specific conditions. Smart bioload and feeding. Avoid overfeeding fish. All food should be consumed within 2 to 3 minutes. Promptly remove any uneaten food and use high-quality fish feed. These practices directly impact the nutrient output available to your plants. Ultimately, cultivating a truly flourishing aquatic garden goes beyond fixing just one issue. It's about understanding the complex dance between light, CO2, and all essential nutrients, what we call the golden triangle. Every element works together, and if one is off, it impacts the others. For example, a CO2 limitation can look like a nutrient deficiency, or an unbalanced pH can render essential nutrients completely unavailable. It's a dynamic living system, and success comes from continuous monitoring and adaptation. Regular testing, keen observation of your plants, and flexible adjustments to your routines are key. By understanding this intricate balance, you'll move from just reacting to problems to proactively creating a resilient, healthy ecosystem that benefits every single inhabitant. Your plants will thank you, and you'll have a truly gorgeous, thriving underwater world to enjoy. Thanks for joining me today. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips. See you next time.